You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad that you've joined me. It's been a couple of days since I've been on the podcast, since Sunday. I have been doing a whole bunch of different things. I just finished a book, and so that I was doing the final editing and getting that out. And then I was in a 2-day business tax law conference put on by Clemson, by the way, which is probably one of the best tax schools that I have been associated with. I mean, they really do put on good schools. But I want to tell you something that I came away with. If you think that taxes have been simplified, think again. It's just become complicated. And let me tell you, I need to warn all of you guys, if you own a business, if you own a corporation, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, you need to sit down with your tax advisors, with your tax accountants, and go over a very special 3-letter word, and it's called QBI. This is a new measurement and calculation and algorithm that is used for businesses now that is going to affect you. In fact, some of you who are doing S Corps may want to change over into a C Corp. Those of you who are doing LLCs may want to turn over into a C Corp. I mean, it's so complicated and it's so difficult to understand that you really need to sit down, ask your tax accountant, what is QBI going to do to my business? And do I need to change anything for next year? There's been a lot of different changes, and if it's an S Corp or an LLC where it flows down, or a partnership where it trickles down into your personal business with your personal tax return, I'm stressing this, you need to sit down with your tax accountant. It's changed tremendously, and it's not as simple. You know what? They said that this is going to be a postcard. Remember when they said the individual tax return is going to be a postcard? This is what I saw. I saw the 1040, and that 1040 was cut in half, and half of it was put on the front page of the postcard. The second half was put on the second page. And there's about 5 schedules that go with that postcard. Now, those of you in the past who have come to the office or to your tax accountant's office, and you've brought all of your records regarding your uniforms and all the miscellaneous deductions that you used to write off, your car expense, your auto expense for your employer, education, all of that stuff, say goodbye to it. Take your shoebox, raise your right hand, and just wave goodbye. Bye-bye. Because all of that is gone. So, I mean, that's gone for everybody, okay? You still get your interest deductions on your mortgage house, on your house, I mean. And you still have some contributions. In fact, it's risen just slightly. But when it comes down to miscellaneous and also your tax preparation fees, all gone. So don't even bother bringing that to your tax accountant this year, because it just doesn't do any good. It's gone. It's going to make it simpler a little bit, but you've also lost a lot of those other things that you used to have. Your rates have gone up, so it's going to help you. Your child care expenses have went from $1,000 to $2,000. So you have some advantages, but you just have to realize that postcard is no longer a postcard. It's a postcard, but it has a whole bunch of other postcards attached to it, if you want to put it that way. So my suggestion to you, sit down with your tax advisor and go over QBI, because it's going to affect you if you own a business, okay? And also if you have a Schedule C on your individual tax return. I really wanted to also say that I watched here in my office, I watched the funeral of President Bush. I was very touched. In his presidency, I was alive, and we went through a lot of different things. From the time he was vice president under Reagan until the time he served as president, there was a lot of things historically that went down. The falling of the Berlin Wall, falling of Russia, and so many things happened that touched me, because we had just gotten out of a situation with Jimmy Carter. And things were bad. We had problems with Iran. We had problems with all of these nations worldwide. We also had an economic problem. And our gas prices, we had to sit in line to get gases under Carter. I mean, to get gas, not gases, but gas under Carter. And then came along Reagan and Bush. And then came Bush, just by himself. And he was a very good president. He was a decent man. He was a president that I don't ever remember saying anything bad about when he was president. And his funeral today was very touching, because there were so many friends there and so many dignitaries. And I had forgotten about the Canadian Prime Minister, who I loved. He was a character, Mulroney. And he was a character, and he always had a good sense of humor. And he and President Bush were very good friends. So we see a family mourning today. And I think America's hearts were mourning also with this family. Because that's what Americans do. We're very good at rising up and supporting Americans when they are in pain. So I hope that each and every single one of us keep this family in our prayers, because they're going through things. Death is not an easy process to go through, but we all have to go through it at some point in time. But keep them in your prayers, because God is good at hearing prayers when it comes to a good man that served this country honorably. So I told you that I wrote a book. It went on Amazon yesterday morning, and it's called Ethically Speaking, It's Not That Hard. I mean, yeah, ethically thinking. I don't know why I keep I'm doing a really bad job at selling my book. I'm giving it the wrong name. It's called Ethically Thinking. It's not that difficult, not that hard. It's on Amazon. It's in hardback form, and it's also on tablet form, so you can buy it if you have a tablet to read your books on. So what I did is, I have been touched over the past couple of years by a lot of unethical activity that have touched me personally. And I thought, you know what? I need to get all of this out of me, because it was really pissing me off. One happened, and then another happened, and another happened, and finally it came to a breaking point within me that I needed to say something. So I put it to pen. Well, not to pen. I sat down on the Word and I typed it out. But I felt that I had to do it because I think there are other people who have gone through unethical, they've been touched by unethical people. And they've been touched by activities of individuals that affect you. When you go through an ethical crisis, it hurts. You don't know which way to turn. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to say it. You don't know exactly if you should say anything. So I sat down and I started typing, and it came out into a book. And I touched everything ethically that had touched me, from politics, a lot of business, a lot of words that were unethical, religious beliefs that were unethical in nature. And so I took it from my heart, and I just let it flow. So if you wanted to read a good book about ethics, because really ethically thinking, it really isn't that hard. As long as we choose between right and wrong, and we choose the right path instead of the wrong path. We choose good instead of evil. But we see more and more people willing to make a buck by doing evil things. Anyway, so that's it. You can buy it on Amazon, Amazon.com. Look for Ethically Thinking by Michael Lodge. Ethically Thinking by Michael Lodge. So you can buy it in Kindle, or you can buy it in hard copy. This is Mike Lodge. If you have any questions, you can send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Everybody go out and have a great day. I'm kind of late in getting this out. I'm recording this at about 6 p.m., but I tell you, when you sit 2 days straight in a business tax law conference, by the end of it, you are drained. I got home last night. I said, I'll sit down and do a podcast. But the problem is I sat down and I fell asleep. I tell you, when you get old, it's hard to keep awake. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
World of Business and Taxes on